What is up? My name is Sam, and today we will be doing a mock lottery draft. We are less than a week away from the lottery itself, and here we will be having a mock draft, picks 1 through 14. And after the lottery itself, we will be having a full first round mock draft, so get ready for that, and let's get started. See here, Detroit has the first overall pick, Rockets 2, San Antonio 3, Charlotte at 4, and then 5, the Blazers, and then one of the two picks that the Orlando Magic have is at 6, and they have their second one at 11 via the Bulls, the Pacers at 7, the Wizards at 8, the Jazz, which are the two picks, but one of them is later in the first round, at 9, Mavericks at 10, and then the Magic's at 11, and then the OKC Thunder at 12, and the Raptors at 13, and the Pelicans at 14. And let's go with the first one. Let's see. Okay, Pelicans stay. And boom, Detroit stays with the first overall pick. San Antonio jumps up to 2. The Houston falls to 3. Washington jumps up all the way to 4. Charlotte stays at 5. Or they fall to 5. Blazers 6, Magic 7, Pacers 8. Pretty much everybody moved down. Here the Mavericks stay at 10, which is definitely needed because if they go 11, if they go back, it is becomes the Knicks picks and they can jump up. They can obviously jump up, but here they have to stay between 1 and 10. But if it falls back, it will be the Knicks pick. Here we go. We have the Detroit Pistons at 1. It's an easy pick, obviously here. Where they are going to go with Victor Wembanyama from France, from Metropolitans 92. Obviously, this is the easy pick. You pair him up with Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey. You have him run the fine, and then later on you got to figure out what's going to go on with Jalen Duren and James Wiseman. And with that, you're going to have enough flexibility where I think Wemby can play the 4 next to James Wiseman. And I think that's a perfect situation here for the Pistons. And then here, San Antonio jumps up to 2. And here they need a point guard for the future. They have options such as Scoot Miller, such as an Amen Thompson, but they're going to take the second best player in the draft by far, and it will be Scoot Henderson, of course, from the G League Ignite. He is a perfect pairing for a Jeremy Sohan. That pick and roll would be nasty. And of course, you have versatile guards that can defend very well, such as a Devin Vassell, and then a 3-point specialist such as a Keldon Johnson. And here, San Antonio gets the point guard of the future. And the Houston Rockets, who fell from 2 to 3 here, they definitely need a point guard. And this is one of the situations where Scoot could be needed. Scoot would definitely need it, and they can go with the Brandon Miller. But here, I'm gonna go with the point guard. They're gonna need a point guard. They need someone to run the offense. And Ime Udoka focuses on defense. He loves defensive players, and here he's going to go with one of the best defensive players in this draft, Amen Thompson from Overtime Elite. Of course, people are kind of not that hyped on him because they are worried about the competition him and his brother did play, but he's just a freak. Him and his brother are both freak athletes, amazing defenders, and Amen Thompson has amazing pass IQ. And I mean, here going to Houston as a perfect pairing with the Jabari Smith, with the Alperen Sengun. He goes here 3 to Houston. And the Washington Wizards here at 4. And I think this is a no-brainer pick. They take the best player. I mean, I would have loved for them to get a point guard here, but here they just take the best player available, and that is Brandon Miller. He falls. All right, that's enough where he falls. You do have to figure out what you're going to do with Denny Advia after this. But here, you take the best player available at 4. You take the potential in Brandon Miller, an amazing shooter, pair up next with a Bradley Beal and a Kristaps Porzingis if you do bring him back, and a Kyle Kuzma if you do bring them back in a contract this year because they are free agents this year. And at 5, the Charlotte Hornets here. Here they're in a rough spot for me because I think a Brandon Miller would have been perfect for them, but because they do need a 2 guard, they do need. Let's see here. We'll have here. Yeah, the 2s right here. James Bouknight, Bryce McGowens, and then you have Terry Rozier going back and forth. Actually, now more than I'm looking at it, I think it's more of the. It's an easy pick. This player is not really the best 3-point shooter, which they kind of need, but defense. You need to have defense around LaMelo, playmaking, and then I think Ausar Thompson can develop a 3-point shot in the future, especially with a player like LaMelo who's going to open up the floor for him. Now here, Ausar Thompson, G League Ignite, Thompson Twins goes top 5, and Ausar Thompson next to LaMelo. I think that is a perfect pair making right there. And here, the Portland Trailblazers here, I would hope that they would go for, something to start the rebuild here. They trade Dame. They try to make, more progress because they have great tools for a rebuild. They have, like you see here, they have an Anthony Simons. They have, Matisse Thybulle. They have a Shaedon Sharpe, Kenan Johnson, Cam Reddish, Kevin Knox, who, hasn't shown that much potential, but still that is. And you have a Drew Eubanks to play the center, I guess, with the young team here. And here, I honestly think that Shaedon Sharpe or Anthony Simons could play the one. And Anthony Simons has shown that whenever Damian Lillard has been hurt, and they need a 4 here that is athletic and can defend and can score. And Cam Whitmore here is the perfect player next to an Anthony Simons, next to a Shaedon Sharpe here. Yes, I know Villanova did not make the tournament, but here, the way, and you saw this picture of him. I forgot which training company it was. He has a 44-inch vertical, one of the most athletic players in this draft class, and have that next to an Anthony Simons and Shaedon Sharpe. And Shaedon Sharpe, who's also very, very athletic himself. That's perfect right there. And you're just going with a young, fun team after. This move right here, this draft right here for me is a post Damian, looking for life after Damian Lillard. Boom, Cam Whitmore at 6 to the Trailblazers. And at 7, one of the 2 Orlando Magic picks here. They need a point guard here, and there's not much not much value. It says they need it for a small forward. I can see for a backup, of course, there's rumors of them, moving off of Jonathan Isaac. You have Franz Wagner, but not really much after that. Caleb Houston, but he still needs some time, and he's kind of been bouncing back from the league to the G League. Jalen Suggs has been I don't want to say very, but he's been kind of underwhelming this past few seasons, and I'm really hoping that, he can break out and be the shooting guard for this team. I would have loved Cam Whitmore here. Jarace Walker would have been perfect here. But I'm going to go with they need shooting. They need someone that can spread out a floor for Apollo Banchero, for Franz Wagner. I'm going to go with Grady Dick. It might be a little high here, but you go with the best shooter, if not one of the best shooters in this draft class here, to pair up with Apollo Banchero and Franz Wagner. And here, Grady Dick goes 7 to the Orlando Magic. And the Indiana Pacers here. If I'm the Pacers and this is my board, I'm running up the podium, and I'm saying I'm taking Jarace Walker to be my power forward, possibly my small forward, next to Miles Turner, because it is a match made in heaven, especially for my point guard of the future, Tyrese Halliburton. No brainer right here. Jarace Walker to the Pacers. And at 9, like I said earlier, the Jazz do have 2 picks, but theirs fell out of the lottery. It says here at 16. At 16, just right out of the lottery via Minnesota. And man, they do need a lot. Let's see what they're Chris Dunn as their point guard. Oh my gosh. And you know what? I'm going to take that exactly. I'm going to take one of the other best defensive guards in this league, Cason Wallace out of Kentucky. He's aggressive to the rim. He can be real, he can be kind of crazy going to the rim, but he can also be going really strong going towards the basket. And it's just defense, and that's what this Jazz team needs. That's what they like to focus on is defense, and here Cason Wallace is perfect for that. And see next 10, and I'm looking at it right here. If I'm the Mavericks, I'm running up and saying Taylor Hendricks is the perfect fit for Luka Doncic. This is the perfect scenario here. Taylor Hendricks is one of my favorite draft prospects of this year. He can defend. He can protect the rim he can play the power forward. He is 6'9", but he can play a small ball center, and he can shoot the 3 ball. He's most likely his specialty is more at the corners. Around the arc, that's where it gets a little not that reliable, but the corners, that's all day for him. And here, Taylor Hendricks at 10. to the Dallas Mavericks is perfect. If I'm Mark Cuban, I'm running up the stage, and this could be a possible trade situation right here. They could be trading for a star here. This could be, I can't think of off the top of my head who they trade for, but here, if they stay at 10, Taylor Hendricks, perfect pick. And the second pick for the Orlando Magic, man, and I'm like here thinking they really need a point guard. They really need someone that can score for them. It's because they're really heavy on the guards. Markelle Fultz has been playing solid. Gary Harris, which you would think they would move off of already. Cole Anthony, who's been really well for them. Man, and then of course you have Jalen Suggs. Oh man. But I've been really thinking about this. And I'm really liking Nick Smith Jr. I think this is a match made in heaven. Of course, people are very hesitant of him because of the injuries in Arkansas during this year with the knee injuries. But I am a very high believer in Nick Smith Jr. I think it was just, he had a bad luck with the injuries here. But here, he doesn't have to be, the guy starting off. He can be able to play, second roles. If he has to be in the G League for a little bit, that's okay. But I'm a full believer in Nick Smith Jr. And here with him pairing with Paulo Banchero, Franz Wagner, and then Grady Dick, just for him to dish it down. Him himself also is a very, very good three-point shooter. But of course, this year he wasn't able to show it that well that much because of the injuries. But here, I am a huge believer in Nick Smith Jr. And here with the Magic, perfect matching. And we have the Oklahoma City Thunder here at 12. Man, how do you this team is so young already. This could be another trade spot already. Use this pick to get someone. But here, because I really don't want to do trades in this. Nick Smith here would have been good, but I mean I'm kind of leaning towards a Jordan Hawkins. You need a 3-and-D to be able to play point guard, shooting guard whenever Lou Dort or Shea is off the court. And I mean they're here. Jordan Hawkins is perfect right here. His draft stock did go through the roof after winning the national championship. Congrats to him. And he's going here 12 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Toronto Raptors, man, they are in a weird spot here because they might be losing, let's see, who they might be losing. Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent, and then they're of course, in the rumors of trading OG Anunoby. And then you have a lot of young players on nothing contracts, such as DJ Wilson, Joe Wieskamp, and then what's Malachi Flynn? He's been on the roster forever, and everyone's just been waiting for him to see, is he going to be the point guard? Is he? And I don't think he is. I mean, it sucks here, but here I think you get the point guard that you need and you want. You get a big, lengthy point guard that plays defense. Anthony Black from Arkansas here. I mean, I think he is the most Toronto Raptors player out of this whole draft. And this is perfect right here. And at 14, the New Orleans Pelicans are here. Man, they definitely do need. I don't want to say they need off the score bench, scoring off the bench. It's hard to say point guard because they have Dyson Daniels, but he is really young. I mean, but then it's your guard positions. You only have Josh Richardson and Herb Jones, who can be a streaky 3-point shooter, but you mostly need him there for defense. Man, this one's tough. I am very high on Keontae George. He started off the year on fire for Baylor. I'm sorry, and he kind of fell off a cliff after that. He kind of cooled down. I'm a big fan of Jet Howard. He has the potential to be very, very good on defense, but I have him going farther. Dariq Whitehead, I just think his injuries is very rough for him. He had surgery recently, and I think that's really gonna push him back maybe to late first, maybe second. How it goes, his recovery goes, and I'm thinking two people here: Jalen Hood-Schifino from Indiana, get a backup point guard who can play the 2 guard, and he can create for himself. He can shoot. But then you also have Bryce Sensabaugh, who is it's just his defensive side. He's an amazing shooter, but it's just his defensive side. I mean, Jalen Hood-Schifino is not amazing at defense, but I'd say he's a better defender than Bryce Sensabaugh. And I think that's what I'm going to go with. Jalen Hood-Schifino. It might be a little early for some people, but him, Nick Smith Jr., and Taylor Hendricks are my guys on this draft. And Jalen Hood-Schifino goes here to New Orleans. And boom, there we go. And here we got our full first lottery mock draft before the lottery. Victor goes 1, Scoot 2, Amen Thompson, Brandon Miller, Asord Thompson, Cam Whitmore, Grady Dick, Jarris Walker, Cason Wallace, Taylor Hendricks, Nick Smith Jr., Jordan Hawkins, Anthony Black, and Jake. Comment down who do you want your favorite team to draft and what do you think of the lottery and who are your favorite prospects of this. And stay tuned because we will be having a full first round mock draft after the NBA lottery. Don't forget to like and subscribe and we will have more content for you soon.